We've been asking Alex a lot about the defense, and really some numbers stood out tonight, your 5 steals, and just in general, the activity you guys are generating defensively. Is that something you guys made a focal point right from the jump to training?
I have 5 tonight.
You had 5 steals.
Nice. No, if we win, I don't really look at the stat sheet too much, unless it's like a bad game for us. But, it's just trying to change the culture, right? You can only do that one day at a time, one play at a time, one practice, one game. I thought we did a good job the first game in Detroit, battling, didn't have our best game. First game of the year on the road, they had a pretty good atmosphere, finding a way to win, really locking down defensively, getting stops when we needed to. Last night, doing the same thing, building on that, getting more stops. Still had a stretch, I think, in the third and fourth quarter where we just gave up too many points. And then tonight, for long stretches of the game, we held them to a really low point total, and it probably could have been even lower if we stayed a little more locked in that fourth quarter, playing with the lead. But that's something that we'll adjust to and grow into. That's one of the hardest things to do in the league is play with a big lead. So it's a good learning experience for us. But, defensively, that's something that we're going to have to hang our hat on, because like tonight, some nights we're not going to make shots. Some nights we're not going to shoot great percentages. But, if we can bring that attitude and intensity every night, we have a good chance to win games.
What do you think the ceiling is for this team defensively?
I mean, as good as we want to be, that's defense is all care. It's just care factor and effort and execution. And our effort and our care factor, I think, is high. I think it just comes down to the execution part, which, we're going to grow and we're going to get better. It's game 3. But, we have all the tools and players and desire to do it. It's just about going out there and doing it on the court.
Really talked a little about the effort and the care factor as well, and how that kind of requires buy-in. How did this group kind of come together and buy into that so quickly as a group of guys that hadn't played together before, but this early season have gotten off to this type of start?
Yeah, it's just a great combination of players, coaches. The organization did a good job, I think, of bringing the team together with guys that, in the second unit, really, I think all have something to prove, including myself, just, continually pushing that we're NBA players. We deserve to be here. We're good players. And then you got guys like Zoe's a natural defensive player. Like he's going to be active, be in passing lanes, deflections, rebounds. But then you get guys like Vooch, DeMar, Zach, guys who have been all-stars, who've scored 20 plus a night, 25 plus a night. You get those guys to buy in, which they've done, and they've done a good job of leading and kind of, transforming their mindset from what they've been on past teams. It just makes it really easy to follow, and one day it might be another guy, might be me, might be Zoe, might be Zach, but someone's always kind of leading the group and taking charge and making sure that we're holding ourselves to a good standard.
How does Billy specifically message that? He's traditionally coached good defensive at the NBA level. What has the messaging been from him since you guys have all kind of assembled?
It kind of what I just talked about, it's effort, attitude, and then execution. Those are the 3 things that I think it takes to be a good defensive team. And like you said, Billy, he's a great coach. He's a great communicator as far as holding us to a standard, making sure that we're doing things the right way, which, like I said, tonight I think we had stretches where we played really well and then stretches where we didn't. And, that was one thing he talked about coming on a back-to-back is what was our attitude going to be? What was our mindset going to be? And I think for the most part, we answered the bell. But like I said, we're going to grow and we're going to be better. And he does a good job of leading with his voice and holding us to that standard.
How do you see Lonzo specifically grow defensively? I know he came into the league his reputation as a guy who guarded, but it seems like he just had a different level early on here.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't watched Zoe too much in the last couple of years other than when they've played on national TV, just because, the swing of the games and I got games of my own that I've been playing. But, Lonzo is just like, I think me and him have the same mindset on defense of just trying to be, pests, blow up plays, get deflections, anything to start the break. Because, when we're in transition, y'all have seen we're really lethal. We got a lot of options in transition. It's just about getting stops to get out there. And I think that's something that, he knows. So if he can create an opportunity for us, whether it's a steal or he's on ball or he gets a defensive rebound, he's looking for that.
He had 4 blocks tonight. The one on Stewart where he was kind of standing. And,
yeah, that was impressive.
What'd you think of that?
Yeah, you don't have many starting point guards in the league that are challenging, let alone, just even attempting to challenge, but getting the block. So just goes back to, the kind of the attitude and the mindset we talked about. That's something that we're trying to grow on the team and compete in every play.
You guys had a sequence in the second quarter where I got a block, Lonzo got a block.
Mhm.
Those types of sequences where everyone kind of chipping in seem to be piling up for you guys. What goes into those moments that really make you well as a team?
Yeah, it's just competing. That's something that we're gonna have to do. A lot of times we play small lineups. Vuce is really only our true big man that we play. And it's just about competing and something we talked about early in the year that management's talked about, coaches talked about, players have talked about. We got to earn it. We can have this great team on paper and talk about, what we're going to do and stuff like that. But if you don't go out there and perform, then it really doesn't mean anything. So for us, it's just about, building that resume, building that reputation and going out and competing every night.
What's it like to hear the repeat chats and
Yeah, like it's hard to say I'm used to it, but like people kind of sprinkled them in here and there over the years. So like for me, it's just kind of another thing. I wish they'd save them for like the real MVPs of the team, like when Zach gets going or DeMar's cooking or something. But I'm never gonna deter that. I'm appreciative.
Has given you a hard time with that?
Yeah, Kobe tries to give me a hard time, man. Kobe needs to come back because I can tell he's bored, man. He's just saying nonsense in the locker room at halftime and after the game. But no, that's him. He's got a great personality, great teammate.
Any reaction to the offseason to the narrative that, all these guys have both signed, they can score, but they're not going to be able to defend?
Not too much, just because, narratives are narratives. At the end of the day, you still got to show up and perform. And, I'm always confident the team I'm on, I'm going to influence a little bit with my attitude and my personality and competitiveness. And I had talked to Zach. I worked out with Zach a couple of times in the off season. I know how hungry he is to win. He hasn't won a lot recently, and I know he wants to win. And I know DeMar knows how to win because he's played in the playoffs. Vuce knows how to win. He's played in the playoffs a little bit, but same thing. We're just hungry to win. And when you have that kind of desire, it makes it easy.
You guys on the team and Billy talks about your kind of vocalness, in huddles on the floor. Even like pointing out drills to coaches to run like a practice the next day and things like that. Where did that aspect of your game come from, being as vocal as you are?
Yeah, I've always kind of been like that. High school a little bit, but then college, I really took on kind of the leadership role of my team. And speaking for me is just easy. It's just easy for me to talk about basketball. I know the game fairly well, and I want to win. So like logically for me, it's just how my brain operates. Like, why would I not say something if I'm trying to win? It's going to help us win. It's just one of those things that I'm never going to be afraid to say something or point something out, because if I think it's going to help us win games, then I'm going to say it.